Have no fear, students. Because I am here.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's Sunday, so you know what that means. It's time for My Hero Academia, so let's just hop right on into this. So we're going to be talking about chapter 293. Again, something that I mentioned this like last week. I'm going to try something a little bit different. Instead of more of a kind of like reaction and a discussion, you know, the recussion. I'm just, you know, I've already read through it twice, and you know, I have it here, and I'm gonna still look through it just so as I can talk about it in depth, so as I can look at what's going on and you know discuss it accordingly. Honestly, if I'm being honest, I didn't really like this chapter. It's not that it was bad. Honestly, this has been like one of the lowest chapters for me so far since I've started talking about it on YouTube on YouTube. I had made a video and it never went out because I was stuff, but I'm probably gonna put it out tonight. Expect a video on my problems with the future of Aerie. I'll try to have a link to or like something up here, or if not, I'll have a link to the video down below. But expect that probably around 5 o'clock ish. I'll have it scheduled to come out by then. So hit that subscribe button and the bell, so that way you'll be notified for whenever that video goes out. Anyway, it's like I was saying, expect that sometime later on tonight. But anyway, honestly, just the way how it was handled, the way how the reveal of them showing what Aerie has done, like with her powers, the way how Lemillion got his back. Let's see. Starts on, like, if you like I said, I always read it through the official Shonen Jump app, except for the exception of last week because I had to work. So it starts on page 4. It's literally a page. It's literally it got from page 4 to page 5. It's literally it. And then, or no, it's not even fully. Yeah, it's not even fully page 5. It's literally 1.5 pages. Mirio's just like, I want to help out, and he's like, I know you've been testing on like lizards and bugs and all this other stuff, and he's like, I'm sorry for asking you to do this, and she's like, don't be sorry, this is why I'm training. And then we cut back to Lemillion, and like, it's just disappointing. That's just really so disappointing. It really is. Like, and I'll go in the video I'm talking about my problems with Aerie. I go in a little bit more detail and depth onto why I have a problem with that. But the way how it was just handled right now, like, that could have been such a great moment for Aerie, that she's finally moving past like her and what I'm about to say, the wording comes from Oceans on Twitter, where he's basically saying is just like, you could have dealt with like the trauma that was induced with her powers, because that was a big deal for her, is that she hated her powers, she hated herself, and so for her to finally use her powers, she means that she must have at least moved past that, the trauma of her with her powers, and to use it on Mirio, and the fact that it was condensed into a 1.5 page. Like, come the hell on, man. Like, seriously. Like, that's just... I'm more annoyed than anything else, because I'm just... That it was just a fucking waste. Mirio still hasn't gotten full power back yet. Obviously, because he's been gone for... Yeah, so he's been... This is all 6 months. Mirio's like, you know, obviously because he's you know, 6 months without like, you could have been lifting weights for your entire life, but if you go 6 months without doing it, you're gonna be a little bit rusty. So Mirio's just like, summon anyone, because he can't destroy all the Nomus while they're attacking I was about to say Night Eye, but Best Genus. We see a glint in the middle, we see a glint from away, and it's Bakugo using his powers to like shoot all the way over to Genus to help him out, and he's blowing up Sonomu. You got Ida coming in with the kick, and then you got Hado coming in with whatever she does. Ida's like, of course, I can't take my eyes off of you for a second. And, you know, if you push yourself, it's going to be fatal. Another thing that I'm kind of disappointed by is Hato, like, still being in action. Like, and I'll link a video. I'll have a link to this too, because I made a short little video on it. But bitch got burned really bad. Like, she took like half her body got caught on fire, and it looks like, I'm sure it doesn't look as bad as it should. Now I'm sure that when this gets animated, or if I can see this like colored, like the way how it's looking right here in the manga, it just doesn't look like it's that bad. Like, if anything, like, she shouldn't have fallen out of the sky and have Ida caught her. Looks like she could have just stayed in the air and been perfectly fine. So that's one thing. I don't know. It's just, like I said, it just doesn't look like she's taking the damage that she should have been. And then we finally, the big moment of the chapter, we finally learn Bakugo's hero name. You know, the conversation with him and Genus back whenever they're doing the work studies. You know, how your alias represents your desires, but you're still naive to the ways of the world. Once you've earned your provisional license in your second year, return to me. And on that day, tell me your chosen name. Starting today. And this is the stupidest fucking name possible. Great Explosion Murder God Dynamite. And of course, and this is everybody's reaction. Genus is how childish. Ida's what a mouthful. Hato is disturbing. Mr. Compress or Compress, I can never tell. I can never remember if it's Mr. or just Compress. Spinner is super tacky, and then Lemillion just laughs, which is like this. And I'm gonna need for Tayo Cruz to come back here and take this man, because this is not Dynamite. This is so stupid. We told you once, we told you twice. This is not Dynamite. And Lemillion's just like, you know, that's a fine hero name with a sense of humor to it. And Bakugo, of course, is like, ain't nothing funny about it. And Lemillion, you know, says his motto is, a world without smiles and humor has no bright future. And then after that, it was just like, you know, that's just my motto, no offense. Looks like, and then we got over, and he's just like, looks like the boss isn't going anywhere fast. So what do you say we wrap this up? Then we finally got over to Dabi and Toya. Dabi and Toya, that's the same. They're the same person. Shoto and Dabi, or Toya, whatever. Like I said, I'm gonna go back and forth between calling them Toya and Dabi. Between Toya and Dabi, just because. And he's basically saying, looks like your friends are having a blast down there. Oh, but poor Shoto, no fun for you. And he's just got like, he's got Shoto like just wrapped up in a hug, just causing his fires just to go crazy. He's like, and Shoto's basically saying, you're gonna burn too. And he's like, seriously, it was great that you were raised with love, but I'm fine because I'm really happy right now, because look at his face. And Endeavor is literally, again, like I said, he doesn't know how to process this. Ever since he found out that who Dabi really is, he's been broken. And, you know, he's basically, and he's like, I said, look, he's totally broken inside, and he just starts laughing like crazy. And he's like, and Dabi's basically saying, I wonder what Dad's face will look like when I burn you to ash. Deku comes in and uses Black Whip, because, you know, he can barely move or walk, so he's just like, alright, if I use Float and Black Whip, I should be fine. And he's just like, alright, so the others got Genus, and I've got you. Of course, he's like, who cares if my arms and legs are done? And this is actually kind of adorable. He uses Black Whip out of his mouth and he calls it Froppy style. That is just so sweet. I love that. Um, and I was just, he's basically saying, "Hey, it's a family affair. This ain't none of your business." And of course, Deku's like, "It is my business. Todoroki's my friend, and Endeavor's my mentor who made me stronger. Yeah, the past never dies, and that's why I'm watching Endeavor real hard as he tries to be better. And guess what? You aren't Endeavor." And again, this I believe I saw that like Ocean said this on Twitter, and he's also on YouTube. Yeah, and he's basically saying he gives like a really super condensed version of the same speech he gave to Shoto back at the sports festival. And it was like, of course, it was like, way to state the obvious. And he's like, "Well, you still got to pity me, right? The ages and justice did some vile stuff, and I'm the result." And he's like, "Evil is thriving, justice is losing the war. All I'm doing is showing you sentimental dupes who's to blame for. The future coming down the pipeline." And this is it. We see like the thread finally breaking. Makia's finally going. He's finally like rearing up, going big. And Gina's just like, he's back up. I got a little confused for a second because his hair went black, then or I think okay. I think what happened was his Endeavor shot like flame, like kind of like a heat blast almost, where he just shoots the fire down and compresses and shoots up to go and attack him, because it looks like Endeavor, and then it cuts back to Makia. And he's basically saying power's all gone, and he crashes down into the ground, and he's like, he's got no strength. And so it's finally been confirmed from way back when, about the sedative worked, and Genius is like, someone out there weaved this thread of hope. And I'm just like, with the puns, always with the puns. Yeah, with that being said, like I said, this is a fine chapter. But I do not. I don't like it. I really don't. It's just, you take what was the biggest surprise of last chapter, because let's face it, that was not. No, I don't think that was like foreshadowed any fucking where since the war arc started. And I was just like, holy shit, this is so fucking cool. And then it's ruined with a 1.5 reveal of Eri like, okay, yeah, we're gonna try this, and it works. And the worst part about it is just like, I don't know what is like Deku. I don't know why Deku was as surprised as he was, because he was there in the background whenever Lemillion and Eri and Aizawa and all this were having this conversation. So he should have known that it would at least something happen. Like, maybe Horikoshi's gonna expand on it a little bit more next chapter in the future, but to where we can see like, okay, maybe it didn't work at first, or it just didn't seem like it did, and then the war happened, and then Mirio's like, okay, yeah, my powers are finally working. But no, I don't know. This chapter just, I didn't care for it. It wasn't. Like I said, it's not that it's a bad chapter. It's just I don't care for it. It's just, it really irritated me. It really did. And then we finally learned the Bakugo's hero name, which awesome. We finally know what it is. And then it's dynamite. Like I said, Taiyo Cruz, come and get your boy. This is it's so stupid. Like, and a lot of people were talking about how he wanted to represent, All Might in that, and just like how he views a hero is someone who's the strongest in the world. He views All Might as, or he viewed All Might as the strongest hero in the world, and so that's what he's trying to represent. But if Deku can move past being Small Might or Might Junior or whatever, Bakugo can too. Honestly, there'd been that theory going around that Bakugo's hero name would have been like Ground Zero or something for like Kamina from the Kamina district from whenever Genis got really injured. And I was just like, okay, that could be a really nice way of showing respect to somebody who actually maybe not the first person, but one of the first heroes to actually show Bakugo, kind of like show him the right way and a different way of going and changing and all this other stuff. But nope, I'm Dynamite. Excuse me. Let me pull it up real quick so I can mock it. Great explosion, murder god, Dynamite. Like that just. That's something I would expect from beginning series Bakugo. The great explosion murder god. That's something I expect from the old Bakugo, who was a dick. The current Bakugo, who's still he's not a dick anymore. He's just like he's still aggressive, and I don't want him not to be aggressive anymore because that's just kind of like part of who he is. But that's just so stupid. Maybe if Horikoshi can come up with a really good explanation as to why he picked that specifically in the next couple chapters or sometime, I might change my mind and it might be, oh, okay, you know what? Yeah, that's cool. That makes sense. But other than that, I'm sorry, that is just so fucking stupid. But either way, that's it for the video. That's it for the chapter. As always, want to try to get a discussion going so it's not just me talking, which, don't get me wrong, I could do this all day, but, what are your thoughts on the chapter? What are your thoughts on, specifically, thoughts on Eri and Lemillion, Dynamite, the Dabi, the Todoroki family situation? I'll just leave it like that. And, of course, the best moment in the entire chapter. Froakie style. You know what? I didn't realize. I think I've been calling her Froakie for like the entire time. Whoops. Froppy style. What do you think of Froppy style? Easily the best moment in the entire chapter. As always, like I said, let's try to get the discussion going. Let me know down below, and we'll go from there. As always, I want y'all to have a wonderful day. Y'all have a fantastic day as well, and I'll see y'all later.